Before the stadiums, before the screams, before the records and the fame, there was just a boy, shy, quiet, insecure, with a dream too big for his small hometown in Busan, South Korea. This is the story of Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, the golden maknae, the boy who carried the weight of the world and somehow kept smiling. But it wasn't easy. In fact, it nearly broke him. Part 1. The boy who left everything behind. Jungkook was only 13 when he left home. He wasn't chasing fame. He just loved to dance, to sing. He didn't even know yet what it meant to be an idol. But he knew one thing. He wanted more. He was offered contracts from major agencies, the safe choices, the big names. But he chose the one nobody believed in, Big Hit Entertainment, because there was someone named RM. And Jungkook believed in him. So he packed his bags, left his family, left childhood, and entered a world built on perfection, pressure, and pain. Part 2. The silent struggles. In the early days, Jungkook barely spoke. He was the youngest, the quiet one. He watched the older members, listened, learned, but behind closed doors, he was overwhelmed. He trained until his voice gave out. He danced until his legs ached. He worked harder than anyone, not because he was told to, but because he was afraid of not being enough. He wasn't just trying to be good. He was trying to live up to what people expected of him. And at just 15 years old, he stood on stage, trembling, eyes wide, as BTS debuted to a world that didn't yet care. They were ignored, mocked, labeled tryhards and nobodies. And Jungkook took it all in, quietly, painfully, but with fire in his heart. Part 3. The rise and the cost. Then it happened. Little by little, BTS began to rise. Not through industry help, but through fans, through ARMY. Jungkook started to shine. His voice grew stronger. His stage presence, electric. They called him Golden Maknae because he could do everything. Sing, dance, rap, direct, draw. Anything he touched turned to gold. But with praise came pressure. He was still just a teen, yet he was expected to be flawless. Behind the perfection, he battled anxiety, self-doubt. He cried quietly when he made mistakes. He stayed late in the studio when others slept. He judged himself harder than any critic ever could. Even when he collapsed on stage from exhaustion, he apologized. Part 4. Finding his voice, losing his fear. As BTS grew, so did Jungkook. Not just in talent, but in courage. He started to speak up, to write music, to show us his version of love, fear, and identity. And in songs like Euphoria, My Time, and Still With You, we heard not just the idol, but the boy who had grown into a man. The man who had spent a decade giving everything, not just for himself, but for 6 brothers, for fans, for the millions who saw themselves in him. Part 5. The global star who remains humble. Today, Jungkook is a global icon. He's broken Spotify records, performed solo on world stages, been called one of the most influential artists of his generation. But if you look closely, he's still that boy from Busan, the one who smiles shyly when praised, who looks down when emotions rise, who sings every note like someone is hearing him for the first time. He never let fame change his heart, only his reach. Jungkook's story is not just about talent. It's about sacrifice, silence, dedication. He gave up childhood so we could feel comfort in his voice. He faced loneliness so we wouldn't have to feel alone. And in every lyric, in every performance, there's a piece of the boy who dared to dream and never looked back. So when you see Jungkook smile, know that it's a smile carved by pain, molded by purpose, and powered by love. This isn't just the story of a star. It's the story of someone who proved. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You just have to keep going.